I said, no, I can't do your show. I'm sorry. She could, I can't do your show. But wait, we need your help. I said, we need somebody that people will really believe and really get them. Just like they did in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We need somebody that can be heavy enough to go up against Coulson, and really they gotta believe you that you are who you say you are. So they get me there, right? Same with Dexter. I get there, but how did they get me there? Because, man, it's a big spoiler. I was never there. My character had been dead for 4 years. I was in the fucking refrigerator. I wasn't even there. So, how did I like Dexter? I wasn't there.
Hello, Mr. Olmos. First, I'd like to begin by saying mucho amor y respeto for your career and your personal things that you've done for the Latino community. And my question for you, it's a little more lighthearted. What made you decide to want to be a part of Comic-Con, and what's your favorite part?
Favorite part is you guys. I always thought I really had a really awkward, I have what most people who have never come to Comic-Con, their feelings after being ridiculed by, people in movies and stuff. They always ridicule, the Comic-Cons and, how crazy wacko all these geeks are, and they dress up in different costumes and they paint their face. They look so weird. And, oh my God, they dress up like Superman. And, I felt trapped. And I said, I'm fine, man. You guys go ahead, man. I'm working over here. Thank you. Conventions, yeah, go for it. Then I went to one, and it was a love fest. From the beginning, the moment the very first person came up to me to today, and today more than ever, Alamo Comic-Con is the most unbelievably passionate, and I have cried more. I've been emotionally moved more. I have been, the accolade, the kindness, the way people give of themselves when they walk up. That's a kind of, you don't walk up and I say, okay, name, next, name. You go to some of these guys that are signing here, and you go to some of these conventions, and they scribble. Somebody taking the picture, and you just walk over and thank you. I can't do that, man, because, man, it is so beautiful what happens at conventions. It's beautiful. I mean, for me, it's like, why do you think I sat there from 10 till 8 without taking even a lunch break yesterday? I would eat my sandwiches. I was sitting there. No, wait a minute, don't take the picture. And it's all because of you guys. You guys are great. You have one of the finest conventions in the world right here.
Another Battlestar Galactica one. Whenever you were kind of forced to make the destroyed Earth ending of Battlestar Galactica because of the current conditions, if you were forced to end the series there, but then conditions got better within a year or two, do you think you would have pushed really hard to start it up again and give it the ending it deserved?
I like the ending, first of all. I personally do. But I also feel that the writers were so, nervous. They had built something that had taken off, and it was so much more than any one single person could have imagined. If you haven't seen the show, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But it grew. It grew because something weird happened. 2003, we didn't have Facebook, Twitter. We didn't have social media. We had, what came out during that period of time was blogging. where you would blog something and then somebody would comment on that blog. And sometimes, and in the process of our show, blogging became instantaneous, where you could blog with somebody in real time. And that really became incredible. So what happened, our show came out, and our show began, and our show was written really well. Really, really well written. And then we would take it in production and elevate that by making it come alive with, you know, the actors and the direction and the production and everything. Woo, my God. Then post-production would get it and take it to the highest level of special effects, the music. Oh, man, the music. Bear McCurry. Incredible. And then they would finish it at a very high level from where it started, and people, the whole, with the editing and everything, and people would just turn around and say, they would be in shock. And so they put it out there. Well, what would happen? They would show, the first year they showed it first in London and in England. They had it on Sky first before anywhere else in the world. Well, what would happen? Kids would grab it right as it was streaming into things, and they would push it out, and it would become like viral, and the whole world could see it, almost as it was happening, you know. So what happened is that the people would start to blog and talk to each other about the show, and so the writers, who were not dumb, they were smart, they were listening and watching and writing. They had their blogs, and people would lock in because they knew that these were the writers of the show, and the people would start to talk with them, and they would tell them, man, when I saw the show, man, it meant this and this to me, and oh, when this happened, it really meant this, didn't it? And the writers go, yeah, that's exactly. and would elevate the writing and the mentality of the people who were writing. So all of a sudden we were getting input, and all of a sudden the shows got more intense and more intense. So needless to say, technology began and really came upon our show in a big way, and it changed the course of history of television. Because now I tweeted all, you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., every show I was on, we would sit there and tweet at the same moment the show was being aired. And people would talk to me from all over the place. Hey man, wow, what happened there? Wow, that was weird. You just got yourself stoned. Turned into a rock. Then they blasted the shit out of you. Are you coming back? I think so. Jesus Christ. I said, yeah, you're right. I ain't coming back.
Well, we are unfortunately out of time.
Get out of here. We just started. I got 3 questions. What's wrong with you guys?
But I do want to thank you, Mr. Edward James Olmos.
Thank you.